Our mission at Confronting Domestic Violence is to provide real-time resources to victims and offer relocation services when parents have a safe place to go and not the means to get there. Countless families wake up in fear, navigating a battleground in their own home, trapped in a cycle of violence. It is a known fact the most dangerous time for a victim is when the abuser knows they're leaving, right up to the point of leaving. The biggest challenges a parent faces is fear and finances. While we aim to help numerous families each month by fostering multi-agency collaborations, we're humbly asking you for your support. Every little bit helps to make our mission a reality for families ready to leave their toxic, abusive environment. No parent should have to leave everything behind or resort to homelessness. Your contribution can make a world of difference in offering a family to feel safe at home.
Today, I want to talk to you about not staying silent any longer. So silence isn't really a strategy, and how I come over this. So I was tasked originally through confronting domestic violence as a chairwoman. Agape had asked me, she says, hey, how about you bring in a little bit of what can we do to raise funds? Let's go out and find some people. Can you guys see that okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. So find someone out there and go do some fundraising. And of course, me, I'm a techie. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a techie at heart. My main goal is really has always been to be a supportive person and to be in service. And I love that, but it's more always been behind the scenes. I'm a virtual summit host. I learned to code in UE5. And if you're not familiar with what UE5 is, it's Unreal Engine. And I'm a virtual reality creator. And so my basic growing up in Silicon Valley was all about tech and Star Wars and Star Trek, and growing up in that. I had the joy to go watch and be at the opening of Star Wars. It was a life changer. And that has always been my background. And I lucked out because in literally a line of 400 people, they weren't waiting, for the next Netflix to drop or that next big opening on TV. You had to actually go in line back in the day and be part of it. We got to go in front of the line because my brother, he was such a nerd at the time. He was Big Bang Theory before Big Bang Theory existed. So he was the super, super genius. He was a kid that apprenticed through NASA. And he was mixing chemicals one day in the backyard because we had this lab. So a little Dexter kind of cartoon there, if you can picture that. He pretty much blew himself up, but he was still alive. He came out of it. He had a little injury on his feet. And so back in the day, they did a little bit of a skin graft, but it was cool. You get to see these, it's the experience and the experience on the other side. So we got to go ahead in line of 400 people to be the first to get into the Star Wars, the first opening. And that had such an impact on my life. And so being able to create and being a creative, it is what changed my life. And coming back into the challenge of what can I do to support confronting domestic violence in my own way? Because, hey, I grew up in Silicon Valley, but I don't know Elon. I didn't have a phone number to Zuckerberg, and he turns off his phone when he goes anyway. So I didn't have that landline. What happened is what I did know is that, hey, what can I do? I'm not on a yacht. I can't send you a suitcase of money. I don't know these people. But what I can do is I can give you a stage. And so having worked in, at the time, virtual reality 3 years ago, I said, hey, what I can do is I can host an event. I can bring victims, survivors up to the mic, and we could create a safe space in virtual reality. They could pop in like a panda, a giraffe, or someone else's avatar. One click, no equipment, pop in and just come in and speak on the stage. What a cool thing to do. And what an honor it was for me to be able to share that with them. How does that have anything to do with audience leads? Well, in marketing, you collect leads. That's really simple. But with those leads, what could I do? With For a Cause marketing, I could take advanced monetization techniques and share with everybody how to use that and how to bring a voice to confronting domestic violence. And that was my honor to be able to do that, bring people up on the stage, give them a stage, give them a place so they don't have to be silent, so they could share their story. Not get triggered, not be in their trauma, but really share a story. And that's how this whole thing came about. And that's where the silence isn't a strategy. If you're the best kept secret in your business, or you're holding a story deep inside, it needs to come out. But with these techniques, if we move a person from point A to point B and we give them that mission to move them to a safe place, we have to share with them, how can they make money? How can they open maybe a Shopify store or make some money online without having to go back to work and be in that? So it was really to attract them to take action, to attract the speakers to come on the stage and the audience to take action. And that's what you're doing here today, is absolutely taking action. And as a business owner, you face these challenges and these difficulties. And how do I collect leads so I have a warm audience? And how do I sell my merchandise, my products, or my service? You take the leads and you keep sharing with them their story. That's why Substack does so well. That's why newsletters and blogs are still a way to connect to people more than just social media, because you really want to get seen and heard. And that's how you do that. And this is the way I can do that. I can play with my graphics, I can bring video here, and I can support people through this. So you probably noticed that these slides are a little out of whack, and the number up on the top is totally wrong. So if you're counting, just know that you haven't lost it yet. But really, how do you do that? Well, with these leads, what's the next best thing to do? You want to get on a stage. You want to connect with people. You want to embrace them, talk to them, let them know where you came from. You do that with a stage. It's a one-to-many. So right here, I'm one, you're the many. We're doing that together. Now, you could do that with stages and transform your summit into a lucrative revenue stream. And you're going to do that 3 ways. You're going to promote, monetize, and profit. And when we're talking about a nonprofit like we are today, these proven strategies can cut costs. It seems like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. And yes, you should have the finances before you start the business. But you could do low cost or no cost to maximize your results and really build the revenue and connect with your people at all times. Now you're building a connection through story, and you're giving them a call to action so they know where to open their pocketbooks. So it's no longer that uphill battle. It's really a community of engaged people celebrating together. And so you're basically giving them a social invitation to say hello, say, hey, I hear you. Thank you for coming in to my event, and I want to invite you on my journey, and so we can connect together. Now your audience is engaged. They're thinking of you, right? They're over here. You want them to follow you into a tribe or a group and really engage with the audience and get results. And that's how you do this. So you're going to attract these leads. You're going to monetize with purpose in your scale without burning out, but you can share your message. Because if you feel unheard, create your own stage. This is what I was tasked with when I was part of the virtual reality company, a few of them. How do I get the message out of our great product, our AI? How do I get the message out about, our tech, our virtual reality illustrators, and how do people make money? You show them. So we created events in virtual reality, not just one of the first confronting domestic violence events, but we also I did some networking in there. We'll bring that back. It's something not everybody has to do. It is coming. And so it makes it easy for us to look forward and say, okay, I know that this is coming. I can get this together. And there's a safe space once you verify everybody in there. So now you have support. You can give support in so many ways. How do you connect to your clients? They're out there. So you can do this on such a global scale, anywhere and everywhere. And you're building your list. You're connecting, you're collecting, you're bringing engagement. So engaging speakers, so tell stories, right? And I'd love to see if you guys, I don't know if I could see in the chat, I can't see anything, but I would love for you to put in there if you look forward to telling stories. If you're ready, put a 1 in the chat. If you're ready to really be the engaging speaker and get in there and say, hey, put a 2 in there if you'd like a little more help, because there is a place where you can find that help and feel that tribal. Put some information in there on the Voice Lab group. It's a group of like-minded individuals that you can come in here and you can talk to one another and engage, just like today. So virtual summits are the way to do one-to-many. Tony Robbins still does his. This way, when the next weird event happens, what do? You're online. I've already made connection, and you don't have to now react to it. You can plan and strategize. So if you got something about these insights today, I really look forward to put a yes in the chat. If you feel more clear and comfortable, your message is easy to share. This is a way. Hop on the stage, say hello, come on camera, get on people's calendars. And if you feel good about the value that you're going to get, I want you to be ready for that journey, because there's so much value here. I would love for you guys, I'll also put my calendar. I'd love to connect with you guys and hear more about it.
Our mission at Confronting Domestic Violence is to provide real-time resources to victims and offer relocation services when parents have a safe place to go and not the means to get there. Countless families wake up in fear, navigating a battleground in their own home, trapped in a cycle of violence. It is a known fact the most dangerous time for a victim is when the abuser knows they're leaving, right up to the point of leaving. The biggest challenges a parent faces is fear and finances. While we aim to help numerous families each month by fostering multi-agency collaborations, we're humbly asking you for your support. Every little bit helps to make our mission a reality for families ready to leave their toxic, abusive environment. No parent should have to leave everything behind or resort to homelessness. Your contribution can make a world of difference in offering a family to feel safe at home.